How can you review a film regarded by many, including myself, as one of the greatest films of all time?
It's quite simple, Grady.
Can you elaborate?
No.
Apocalypse Now is a 1979 war film directed by Francis Ford Coppola. The film follows Captain Willard as he journeys upriver during the Vietnam War to assassinate Colonel Kurtz, after Kurtz goes rogue and insane. Along the journey, you experience arguably one of the most nightmarish and thought-provoking films of all time. There is so much to talk about with this movie, I don't even know where to start.
Well, let's start with production quality. I honestly believe that it couldn't have been higher. I think that this film was made with so much care and attention, it wouldn't be the same if it were made today. The camera work was phenomenal, the film was crystal clear, which is very impressive considering all of the night and low light scenes. That would not have been easy to do, even with today's technology.
The use of practical effects and impressive stunt work make the film that much more engaging. Take the Flight of the Valkyrie sequence, for example.
Okay, cut it out.
Everything feels real because it is. Coppola and co. make you feel like you're actually witnessing a real incursion, both the excitement and the devastating consequences of it.
Having to work around the restrictions of the extreme environments and some of the arguably unnecessary setbacks that occurred during production make the high production quality that much more impressive. As Grady mentioned, the plot takes place in Vietnam, but this film was shot in the Philippines, and at the time there were some violent conflicts between the government and some rebel groups, which led to more complications. One thing this film did exceptionally well, though, at least to some degree, was to not glorify the acts of war and, subsequently, war crimes that were being committed.
This anti-war narrative slowly starts to fall into the surreal, with the scenes and sequences taking place in locations that seem like they're on the threshold of hell. Because they are. Because they're about to meet Colonel Kurtz, played by genius actor and all-around terrible guy, Marlon Brando, who gives an iconic performance in a film full of them. Of course, everyone talks performances of Brando and Robert Duvall as Kilgore, which are no doubt worthy of the praise, but people often forget about the amazingly understated and underrated performance of Martin Sheen as Willard. His performance isn't as flashy or as large as Brando's part, but I would argue it's on par with the other iconic performances. He's able to communicate so much pain and torment through the subtle shift of his eyes and his demeanor. It's a masterclass in subtle, understated performances.
For the majority of the second and third acts, Sheen is accompanied by a young Larry Burnfish, a mustachioed chef, the chief boat driver, and me incarnate. All of the performances of these characters were spot on, and the majority of the characters grow to disdain the horrors of war that surround them. They were distinct supporting characters, they did their jobs, and they couldn't have had better performances.
And now for a segment we like to call Disasters That Could and Could Not Be Avoided, aka the endless production notes on Apocalypse Now that we're going to recite in, what do you think, Ryan?
20 seconds?
Let's do it.
Harvey Keitel was cast in the role of Willard, shot for 2 weeks, and then was fired by Coppola, and yet he kept Marlon Brando.
Marlon Brando was paid $3 million for 3 weeks of work on the condition that he did his job.
He did not.
Brando showed up to set overweight and seemingly without having read the script, because once he did, he allegedly made it into a paper hat.
He was shot in shadow, and some of his lines were pre-recorded by Coppola and fed to him via earpiece. Also, he demanded to have a houseboat on set, and he retreated to it after twisting his ankle when he was outfitted with lifts.
A typhoon hit the shooting location in the Philippines, nearly ruining all the equipment and sets that were constructed. Production shut down for 8 weeks.
Martin Sheen had a heart attack while filming, and his brother Joe had to stand in for him while he recovered.
Coppola threatened to commit suicide multiple times during production.
As mentioned before, there was a civil war during shooting. The military, which lent the production helicopters and other equipment, would leave regularly to fight the rebel forces, and they needed that equipment.
If you'd like to learn more, please watch Heart of Darkness.
So, Grady, what would you give this movie out of 10?
I will not make this a habit, but I'm going to give Apocalypse Now a perfect 5 out of 5. I love this movie from its technical achievements to its story and amazing performances. I will never get tired of it. Apocalypse Now is a masterpiece. What would you give it out of 5?
This is another film that was very well done, and I've got to give it a, well, you guessed it, a 9.5 out of 10. Please like, share, and subscribe if you liked this video and want to see more like it.
And please check out our other videos, including our short films, behind the scenes, and our other crap.
Check out our merch on our website if you want to support, and consider donating to our Buy Me a Coffee page. Any amount truly helps out. The links are down below.
Have a great day, and Yeah, just do that. What I asked.
Yeah.
I don't know why it's so hard.
You don't have an option. Have a good day.
Look at Martin. He's having a great day right now.
Look at that. Look at his nostrils. You can see clear into them. Those are the nostrils of a man who's having a good day. I had hot wings earlier today, and they were horribly hot.
Oh my god, they were so hot. I had one, and my tongue went numb.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. I can't wait to pass that through my intestines.
His butthole.